Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today I want to talk about hack-for-hire campaigns because they are targeting political groups, and here's what's going on. Now, this is reporting coming from The Verge, and I think it's absolutely fascinating here, but hackers for hire have been targeting thousands of individuals as parts of campaign against environmental advocacy groups, journalists, and others, according to a report produced by Citizen Lab, which is the University of Toronto's cybersecurity watchdog group. Now, you may have heard of Citizen Lab before because they were the ones that basically exposed a lot of the problems that Zoom had with security and routing traffic from North America, both Canada and the United States, from China. So they've got a pretty good reputation on being on top of things. Now, Citizen Lab dubbed the group behind these campaigns Dark Basin, and here's where it gets interesting. They noted that Dark Basin specifically targeted climate change organizations who were campaigning against Exxon Mobil. Now, environmental groups campaigning against Exxon Mobil appear to have been the frequent target of these attackers, with individuals associated with these groups receiving numerous phishing emails attempting to steal their credentials or infect them. This includes things like the Rockefeller Family Fund, the Climate Investigation Center, and Greenpeace, and all of these attacks appear to reference Exxon Mobil in their phishing. One screenshot shared by Citizen Lab shows a phishing message that alleged to be a Dropbox link to a file called Exxon Mobil Confidential.docx, and in other cases, campaigners receive fake Google News updates about Exxon Mobil, obviously trying to send them to malicious phishing links. Now, Exxon Mobil itself has not been accused of any wrongdoing. I want to make that clear. And Citizen Lab does not attribute the campaign to any specific sponsor. And as a result, in a statement, Exxon Mobil told The Verge that the company, and I quote, has no knowledge of or involvement in the hacking activities outlined in Citizen Lab's report. It is said that any suggestion of wrongdoing by Exxon Mobil in the report is not supported by any evidence as well. And I think that's important to note because I am not pointing a finger at Exxon Mobil, which I think is the world's largest oil company, or at least it's got to be in the top 3. It's massive. Now, Citizen Lab believes that this campaign has been carried out by an Indian-based company which previously advertised quote-unquote ethical hacking services on its website. It also notes that similar operations have previously been hired via intermediaries like law firms and private investigators, which basically gives them the ability to distance their work from their actual clients in this sense. The New York Times also reported that one individual who ran something similar, an Israeli-based private investigations company, has already been arrested as a result of a federal investigation over this, and he has pleaded not guilty and plans to fight the charges. And so my question is, if we have environmental activists being targeted, let's say, by a hacker for hire or attacker for hire group out there, and they are using it under the guise of Exxon Mobil, which anybody can Google to see that, let's say, the Rockefeller Foundation or Greenpeace, etc., are not big fans of Exxon Mobil, then it becomes a very easy target to get people to say, oh, a confidential document from Exxon? Let me open this up. But my question is then, because this is very prevalent, and I've done videos and podcasts on very similar things before. I can't remember the news outlet, but I want to say it was about 4 to 6 months ago, definitely before the coronavirus, which is like a billion years ago, at least that's what it feels like. I did a video on an organization that did research on how to hire somebody to create a fake company and make it look completely legitimate with positive articles and all of that, and then hire another outfit to actually tear it down, writing articles accusing them of everything from child trafficking and on and on and on. And it only cost about $3,000 or $4,000 to spin up the company, and it cost about $5,000 to actually just completely destroy its reputation. So this is prevalent, and we're in 2020. And so when I'm talking about what's next, I'm talking about political campaigns. Now, obviously, climate change, at least in the United States, has been very heavily politicized. There's both the right and the left that believe it's absolutely coming and we're all doomed, and the right thinks it's completely fake news. And there's everybody in between here, and I am not getting into that debate, so please don't send me messages or comments on climate change. This is simply the framework in which this attack is running, but there are going to be other politicized groups that are going to be hit in a very similar manner for whatever reason or another, and there's no doubt that election campaigns in 2020's U.S. election, whether it's the presidency of the United States all the way way down to Congress. I'm sure multiple dog catchers are even running as well. We are going to see this. And so this really underscores the issue here. If we can get, let's say, organizations like Greenpeace, Rockefeller, etc., infected, let's say by hackers that are working for somebody maliciously against, let's say, these interests, there is no doubt that campaigns, again, from dog catcher all the way up to presidency, are going to be targeted and used by this, not just state sponsors, but there may be third parties out there that decide to hire, like hack for hire organizations. And that's something that we need to deal with and address, because that can't really go on, in any real way, which also underscores the need for education for our staff members. So if you're running any kind of campaign or political organization, I really hope that you are sending yourself phishing emails to all of your people just to see who in your organization is going to be opening these, and then make sure they get the training that they need. I think that is beyond important, on top of multi-factor authentication, good security practices, both cyber and data security and all of that. But we need to make sure that we have awareness on stuff like this. Remember, law number 3 of the 5 laws of cybersecurity is humans trust even when they shouldn't. And I think that is the most important law of the 5, and I should know, I wrote it. So with that said, I hope everybody's staying safe, and I hope that these organizations out there were not infected, as I hope no organization is. And with that, that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.